And as they do with most tropical systems, meteorologists spent days tracking Helene as it moved closer to land. And the closer it got, it became evident this would bring major flooding to western North Carolina.
Chief Meteorologist Laney Pope spoke with the National Weather Service and explains how Helene became so destructive in our state.
Well, I knew when a wall of water rose 3 feet in 10 minutes, it's time to go.
Michael Herron lives in the Black Mountains near Swannanoa. He had heard of the Great North Carolina floods of 1916 and 1940, and this one was now worse.
This is the worst event in the modern era for our office.
Meteorologist Tricia Palmer worked the storm.
We broke all-time records on our stream gauges in the western North Carolina mountains.
The other 6 floods that have happened have come to the bottom of my foundation, never in the house.
It was then that Michael had to spring into action to protect his family.
So I left them on the porch around the back of the house, cut my boat loose, pulled up to the porch. They got on, and I mean, so this was 4 and 5 feet deep.
He was able to steer the boat through swift-moving water to a nearby higher parking lot. He considers himself lucky.
There's a mobile home park, not far from here, probably 100 mobile homes. Those people lost everything they had.
Helene destroyed most of Swannanoa, and the town of Chimney Rock was completely washed away.
We know that water can move boulders. Houses and cars are just simply no match for that kind of power.
20 to 30 inches of rain fell over the Black Mountains with Helene, including the 3 to 4 days prior. The eastern continental divide lies near Swannanoa and Chimney Rock. It splits the water flow from east into the Atlantic Ocean via the Broad River through the Hickory Nut Gorge, where Chimney Rock, Lake Lure, and Highway 9 lie. And to the west, the water flows to the Gulf of Mexico via the Swannanoa River, where Michael lives, and on to the French Broad River through Asheville.
I mean, water travels downhill, so we're just in a bowl.
All of the rain from the top of Mount Mitchell at over 6,000 feet rushed off the mountains into the low-lying gorge towns, which had already received more than a foot of rain themselves.
Water weighs 62.4 pounds per cubic foot, and it typically flows downstream at 6 to 12 miles per hour. Basically, all of this volume of water is being channeled into a very narrow area with very steep slopes, and there's nowhere for the water to go but up.
Tricia tells me this scenario played out in several mountain towns like Asheville and Lake Lure, where record flood levels occurred that day.
This was huge. I mean, this is all across the North Carolina mountains. This really is a once-in-a-lifetime event.
What if it happened again in 8 years? I don't know. I don't know if it'll come back. I don't know.
Yeah, he says he doesn't know if they're going to live there still.
I'm sure he's not the only one either.
I was going to say 7 floods. So they're used to flooding in the mountains, but this one, of course, of just historical proportions and just there's no match for water.
And the rain beforehand, too, the 3 to 4 days prior.
Yeah, so it was kind of a 1-2 punch.